Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be learning and working with clocks. So before we start learning about clocks, it's super important to know the parts of a clock. So this whole entire thing right here, okay, it's round, it has numbers on it, it has these on it. This is called the face of the clock. And I think that's so silly because a clock doesn't have eyes and a nose and a mouth. So I don't know why it's called the face, but it is. Maybe we can try to remember that because it's round like a face is round. So we can remember that it's called a face. These parts of the clock are called hands. So if you thought face was funny, that's even funnier because these don't have fingers. I don't know why they're called hands, but they are. And this shorter one is called the hour hands. And this longer one is called the minute hand. The hour hand points to these big numbers on the clock. These are the hours. The hours go in order, starting with 1. So I want you to count with me so we can count all the hours around the clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Those are the hours on the clock. Those are the numbers that the hour hand points to. This is the minute hand. The minute hand points to all the minutes around the clock. A lot of clocks can be different. This clock has little lines, okay? And each one of those little lines is 1 minute. So when the minute hand touches the one line, that means 1 minute has passed, 2 minutes have passed, 3 minutes have passed, 4, 5 minutes have passed. And you can keep going. 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes have passed. We're not going to worry too much about the minute hand right now because for this week in math, our minute hand is going to be pointing straight up to the top, which means 0 minutes have passed. So we are going to look at this time right here. Okay, I'm going to set my clock. The hour hand, remember that's the shorthand, is pointing to the 1. And the minute hand is pointing straight up. So for this time, I would say it is 1 o'clock. O'clock is a fun way for us to just say 0 minutes have passed. If my minute hand had gone all the way around the clock, it brings me here. Our hour hand is pointing on the 2, and our minute hand is pointing straight up. So here we would say 2 o'clock. If it went around again, we look at our hour hand. Our hour hand is pointing right on the 3. The minute hand is pointing straight up. So what time is this? If you said 3 o'clock, you are correct. All right, I'm going to give you a tricky one now. I'm going to go all the way around. And it takes a lot longer in real life for this to happen. Okay, the hour hand is pointing to the 7, and the minute hand is pointing straight up. So what time does this clock say? If you said 7 o'clock, you are correct. Okay, I just want to look at this clock too. Here's a clock that I just made very quickly, and I wanted to show you that it has a face, an hour hand, which is the short hand, and a minute hand, which is the long hand. Sometimes it helps my friends to remember the word hour is a short word, so the hour hand is short, and the word minute is a long word, and the minute hand is long. So let's look at this clock. The hour hand is pointing to the 3. The minute hand is pointing straight up. What time is it? If you said 3 o'clock, you are correct. Now I just want to show you how to write that. So we always write our hour first, just like we read it. We say the hour first, we write the hour first. So I would write 3, and I put a colon there, which is 2 dots. And then o'clock is 0, 0. It means 0 minutes have passed 3. So this is how we write 3 o'clock.